Hello, my name is Dimitrios Mastoras, and I am a retired Master Police Officer from Arlington County, Virginia, as well as the county's first nightlife liaison. I am also the co-founder of Safe Night LLC, which is a consulting group which provides solutions to increase safety and vibrancy in municipalities. We work with local and state law enforcement agencies, economic development, business improvement districts, trade associations, community groups, and public-private partnerships to implement strategies to reduce alcohol-related harm. More about me can be found on the next slide.
Before we begin, I'd like to start by sending our condolences to the family, friends, and colleagues of Police Officer Mitchell Penton of the Dallas Police Department. As you know, he was killed in the line of duty just a couple of weeks ago on February 13th, and his sacrifice to the city of Dallas should be acknowledged and honored. It is a reminder of why we are all here today. For the past year and a half, Safe Night has been working with 24 Hour Dallas, a nighttime advocacy nonprofit led by President Randall White and created by the Greater Dallas Restaurant Association to create a safe, vibrant, and diverse nighttime culture for businesses, residents, and guests. Dallas has many bar, restaurant, and entertainment districts catering to a diverse community. And while there are just a few mentioned here, the strategies and program we will discuss can be implemented in many areas of the city. Alcohol-related harm and violence are something law enforcement and business owners deal with on a regular basis. Reducing this harm on a community and managing nightlife is challenging regardless of where you are in the country or the world. Communities tend to focus on the incidents that impact their quality of life, and public safety agencies are expected to crack down on bars and restaurants that have this type of activity. This also has an effect on the city in other ways through injuries and death caused by impaired driving. Just 8 years ago, the Louisiana State University Department of Public Health and Preventative Medicine conducted a study titled The Population Consumption Model, Alcohol Control Practices, and Alcohol-Related Traffic Fatalities. Dallas ranked at the top of the list with 10.23 deaths per 100,000 residents per year. Additionally, crashes, injuries, and fatalities caused by drunk drivers continue to be a major traffic safety problem in Texas. According to FAR's data, the alcohol-impaired driving fatality rate was greater than the national average rate each year between 2008 and 2016. This is not to diminish the work or challenges of the Texas Department of Transportation. Safe Night is offering an accompanying program to enhance their efforts to reduce alcohol-related harm. The evidence-based approach outlined in the World Health Organization study, Reducing Harm in Drinking Environments, demonstrates a need for more than one single strategy, such as responsible alcohol service or DUI enforcement. The report found that the clearest indication of effectiveness in reducing alcohol-related harm are multi-component, community-based programs which combine employee policy, training, community mobilization, and improved public safety support. Additionally, in 2017, Dr. Charlotte Gill, Deputy Director of the George Mason University Center for Evidence-Based Crime Policy, conducted a research seminar and produced a report which identified causes of alcohol-related disorder and violence, with recommendations for public safety and establishments that serve alcohol. Programs such as Best Bar None in the United Kingdom and Canada, as well as the Arlington Restaurant Initiative in Virginia, are concrete examples of a municipality's embrace of a holistic approach to complex issues. Also identified in the George Mason University report were the attributes officers should have when engaged in this type of work. Characteristics such as being community-oriented, approachable, ethical, and professional were mutually agreed upon by both officers and patrons who were surveyed. Many of the characteristics identified are not established in a meaningful way by police beyond traditional community policing. This has been the case for many agencies in the U.S., which tend to focus on working with partners who already support them through events such as Coffee with a Cop or National Night Out. Building genuine individual relationships with reticent stakeholders from the businesses and community can be accomplished. Police and enforcement agencies such as the fire marshal, public health, and alcohol beverage control can all adopt a preventative approach rather than rely on reactive enforcement-only practices. which leads us to the Proactive Alliance relationship-based policing approach. The Proactive Alliance relationship-based approach is the foundation for enforcement agencies to establish trust with business owners and the community in support of our program, A Safe Night Out. Proactive Alliance was created by Molly Mastoras, a licensed professional counselor and psychometrist whose approach was the foundation for the implementation of the Arlington Restaurant Initiative. She also serves as a board member for WRAP, the Washington Regional Alcohol Program, and their work to reduce impaired driving and underage drinking through programs such as Sober Ride. Using methods adapted from evidence-based psychological counseling therapy concepts, police learn how to facilitate cooperation rather than demanding it. Proactive Alliance teaches enforcement agencies and police to work side by side with stakeholders to reach mutually beneficial outcomes. Proactive Alliance builds upon the three fundamental principles of community-oriented policing: community partnerships, problem solving, and organizational transformation by empowering officers to become agents of change in the pursuit of co-production of public safety. Proactive Alliance relationship-based policing has been recognized by the Arizona State University Center for Problem-Oriented Policing, the American Society for Evidence-Based Policing, Observatory for Public Sector Innovation, and the Global Law Enforcement and Public Health Association. It has also been featured in IACP Police Chief Magazine and the National Sheriff's Association Sheriff and Deputy Magazine. Patron safety is everyone's responsibility. When people are out socializing, they want to know they are being protected from harm so they can have fun without worry. Restaurant, bar, and hospitality staff can do their part by instituting a guardianship model that promotes knowledge of the law, being an active bystander, and knowing how to intervene safely that protects the interests of the customer and the licensee. These responsibilities should not fall on one group to ensure success. Stakeholders include bar and hospitality owners and staff, supporting groups such as economic development and trade groups, and support from the municipality agencies. These groups all have a vested interest in seeing the safe operation of businesses to ensure economic vibrancy and reduction of alcohol-related harm. Most licensees are small businesses with fewer than 20 employees and operate without employee handbooks or policies. They train employees through on-the-job training, but there is no formal way to document or support what information is given to a new employee. If a licensee does have a criminal or civil violation, it is usually due to the employee's ignorance of the law rather than negligence or bad faith. Empowering staff to increase their knowledge of the law and expectations through standards and policies is a way to overcome these issues.
We're proud of what we do. We want to create a safer, more vibrant nightlife and hospitality industry for Calgary.
Training is vital to reinforcing the new policies and provides the employee with context to delve deeper into situations that they have experienced. Employees have a new understanding of the expectations, the law, and how to respond appropriately. Training such as responsible alcohol service, fake ID detection, public safety expectations, Safe Night active bystander, and Ask for Angela reinforce the accreditation policies. The implementation of a bar-safe exclusionary program and communication system between the establishments provide universal expectations to the bar and restaurant employees. It also reduces criminal and civil liability for the business owners. How does a municipality support the work being done by licensees to reduce harm? The municipality needs to embrace the Proactive Alliance relationship-based approach. All municipal agencies need to invest in individual relationships to collaborate and prevent issues before they happen. Break down silos within the municipality. That's not my job, just won't cut it. Form a multidisciplinary team to collectively problem solve with owners and the community. Guidance and support should be the focus rather than enforcement. Provide restaurant and bar staff with public safety expectations and procedures if a crime occurs at their establishment. Provide nightlife training for officers to ensure they embrace the strategies that foster relationships and support the goals. And finally, offer training such as active shooter and vehicle attacks, fire safety and occupancy, hands-only CPR, Narcan training, compliance with food safety regulations, and assistance with meeting zoning ordinances. We know it works to reduce impaired driving, yet achieving these reductions is difficult, and I think we all share the passion to save lives. Some states have more robust programs such as Sober Ride, while others struggle with the limited resources to address impaired driving. The emergence of Uber and Lyft have shown to have an impact on impaired driving, which we all agree is a benefit to cities and areas of the country that do not have funding to support impaired driving prevention programs. Dedicated rideshare loading zones have become another useful tool to ensure patrons know they have a safe place to meet their ride. These zones are best implemented and will gain popularity if bar and restaurant owners have input on their locations. Having an impaired driving program or offering responsible alcohol service training alone will not have the sustained benefits in the long term without more substantial efforts and stakeholders. These efforts need to be combined with more robust programs that support the overall mission to reduce alcohol-related harm. While ride-sharing services have shown to have a decrease in impaired driving, something to consider is that they may actually contribute to an increase in intoxication in nightlife areas. A study released late last year shows an increase in drinks per day, drinks per month, and drinks per occasion for patrons that consume alcohol. They also saw a 9% increase in the prevalence of heavy drinking. This increase in consumption can affect alcohol-related harm in a nightlife area, which is why the multi-component approach is so vital. What can Dallas do to begin changing how nightlife and entertainment are managed in the city? Adopt a proactive alliance, relationship-based approach for officers and enforcement agencies. Implement a multi-component approach and accreditation model. Form a multidisciplinary team consisting of members from city agencies that have a vested interest in the safe operation of these areas. Provide restaurant and bar staff training that reinforces higher standards and policies. Reserve enforcement for licensees that are resistant to support and guidance. And finally, promote a high level of engagement from the city staff that seek to solve problems before they escalate. We at Safe Night hope to see proactive alliance policing and the multi-component approach implemented in cities across the country. We know implementing these approaches can change the culture of an area and policing. I'd like to thank Emmeline Shields, Texas A&M Transportation Institute, and the Texas Impaired Driving Task Force for inviting me to speak today. If you would like more information about any of the materials I've covered here today or how we can help your municipality, please contact us or go to safenight.com.